Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's talk one of our living legends. One of our living legends, young boxer in Devin, the Dream, Haney. Right? We're going to get to him. But first, because I'm not going to do an extra video, Hitchins defeated your boy George Kambosos via body blow in round 8, and it was a very, very good performance. A very, very good performance. He dominated George Kambosos from round 1, and he did everything he had to do. He stayed on the outside. He showed what working behind a jab even means. He was patient, sovereign, didn't panic. And he's pretty much put his name out there right now with that performance. I'm pretty sure amongst the boxers, he's put himself out there because it was a very, very good performance. It really was. He hurt Kambosos maybe in round 2 or 3 with a body blow, made Kambosos wince. And to Kambosos' credit, he fought through the rest of the round and even started coming on towards the end of that round where he was really hurt. Because a lot of times when you get, that wind knocked out of you, you just got to go down for a minute. And some people can't even get up. So Kambosos kept fighting. But in round 8, he was hit by another one. His body was softened up and left hook to the body. And it just stopped him, So Kambosos has been stopped in round 8. Now, some people are going to probably say, well, Kambosos is towards the end of his career, and, it was easier to beat Kambosos than it was when Devin Haney did it, or when Lomachenko did it, or whatever. But George Kambosos is a fighter. He's a fighter, and you could tell it took a while for his will to be broken, right? George Kambosos, if you just probably watched the fight, I ain't watched it again or nothing, but I'm just saying, watch how he is. He's there to win. He's not there to mess around. He's there to win. You're going to have to beat that out of him for him to finally say, well, damn, it's hard, because he was throwing some punches. He was, feinting, throw that overhand right, trying to get to your boy Hitchins all the time. He wasn't to be deterred. He was like losing, but he was coming. So he was there to win. So to beat the will out of him was very impressive. And to do it with a lot of distance, right, was awesome for Hitchins. And I was going to do a video about that because I just thought it was good. And my video was going to be something to the effect of another guy that's about to be avoided. Or will there be anybody, let me say how I was thinking it. I'm going to say it how I was thinking it. Anybody not of color going to call him out? It's a good question. Would somebody not of color call out Hitchins? Right? Any Mexican dude, Latino or something, call out Hitchins right now after a performance like that? Probably won't happen. Should. There's enough of them around there, but it probably won't. So he'll probably go into that, when you look that good, it starts becoming problems to get fights. I was going to do that. But anybody that's watched 5 of my videos would probably know what would disturb me with the Hitchins fight and why I decided to not do a video of it. I'm pretty sure you know what time it is here, So so that's why. After the fight, the Devin Haney thing, and I didn't like how he did that, to call out Devin Haney the way he did it on national TV like that. And Devin Haney's not in your damn division, right? Devin Haney's not even in your damn division. And Teofimo Lopez, who's been acting up of late, just avoided Devin Haney, is running around with you, jumping in the ring, and you're supposed to be vigorously making him fight you. But whatever, I'm going to leave that alone. I'll just say something to you. I'll give you guys a very short story why things like that. A lot of times people say, a lot of African people don't like black Americans, They don't really like them. And I've had a couple of events. I got a few African friends, I got a couple of my buddies where, they help me sometime and I help them sometime in our, little endeavors and stuff like that. And we were about to do business. Actually, we were doing business in Nigeria, right? And they go back and forth. And so to facilitate these deals we were up to, I had to go meet one of the dudes that they knew that didn't know me, right? And the dude, soon as he met me, it was real cold right at the beginning, you know. And he came and he asked me, hey, why do Black Americans, kill each other? And I'm not that kind of dude to mess with like that, But I knew I needed his assistance to facilitate these deals in Nigeria. So, I watch my mouth, which is very hard for me because I say stuff so people can kind of know who they're dealing with from jump. You know what I mean? Because my point was the same reason why Africans sold slaves. Same reason why we always do stuff. Everybody ain't perfect. That's what was going to pop off there. But I didn't. But I got on my boys afterwards. I said, y'all know me now. Now that was hard for me not to say nothing. Now I hope this deal goes through. Because they knew, they was like, oh, you gonna mess with old boy because he'll say something. But the point is, we have a lot of Black Americans who have a lot of energy for each other, negative energy. You know what I'm saying? With all these things going on, unprecedented things going on right now in New Russia, right in front of your face, taking your democracy, just doing things right in front of your face. Confederate flags running all over the place, Confederate, army bases, taking, blanket immunity for police that's gonna kill Black kids, stuff like that, right in front of your damn face. Supreme Court is corrupt. The damn half of Congress looking away from stuff from the Constitution, right? How the hell do we got right now energy to be talking smack to each other? Just so I can't get past it. But I'm an older guy, but I was always like that, like I told you, from the hood, Crips and Bloods, it's like, are you serious? All the stuff we got going on, so we gonna hate each other because the color of a damn rag? All right, well, whatever. You packing yourself, to be honest with you, because you in that environment, but you ain't trying to start nothing. And all that, what set you from, you ain't set tripping. We know what time it is. You ain't set tripping, but you couldn't say the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, really, people? Really scroll the hell out and look how silly that is, okay? From afar. But anyway, so, Richards and Hitchins, they just threw me off on that. I was like, okay, well, I ain't got time for that right now. That pisses me off right in front of all these people running around here that ain't got you got none of your interests at heart, and you're going to say something about Devin Haney who ain't there. But it brings me to the legend in Devin Haney. It brings me to the legend in Devin Haney. The legend. Why? The youngest undisputed lightweight champion ever. What he had to do to get through it was ridiculous. Now, here is something about Devin Haney. Can you remember? Now, you got all these other fighters out here. You can't say this about many of them. If their name ain't Terrence Crawford or Alexander Usyk or something, you can't have anybody who you can say this about. Anybody offered to fight Devin Haney and he said yeah or said no for some reason. Let me go down a list of people who wasn't in a rush to fight Devin Haney, the featherfister guy, the guy who's a runner and all that old stuff. Teofimo Lopez just avoided him just recently. Teofimo Lopez avoided him when he could have fought him for undisputed, would rather run around with a duck on his head. Ryan Garcia was his mandatory, right? Refused to fight him. Gervonta Davis was never in a rush. Lomachenko, when he was calling Nomachenko at damn 20, 21 years old, Lomachenko went and got a franchise title instead of fighting the guy, right? And I'm missing some people. And whoever ever calls him out, he has been trying to fight even bigger guys, even a Boots Ennis, which he shouldn't be messing with yet, right? Trying to fight Ryan Garcia when he's doped, trying to fight him again in a rematch. Ryan don't want none, right? Whoever is saying something. So Hitchins has called him out, and he's come and said, well, if I'm at 147, then come there. when we can do that too. Okay? Just only whoever is hard. And Devin Haney is not the best fighter in the world. He's still got things he's got to learn and still working on his game. But I have never seen him not want to fight anybody of substance, anybody of significance, anybody who anybody is saying is good in or around his division. And that's what we want in fighters. And that's why he's probably hated. Because you don't have anything to say. Devin Haney's avoided the smoke, right? You know, Devin Haney don't want to do this and don't want to do that, right? No, he constantly wants. Teofimo Lopez right now can run around. Ain't nobody, you know, that's what I'm upset about. You in the ring, ain't nobody fronting him about. You just avoided Devin Haney. Get up out the ring, man. You ain't trying to fight nobody that ain't named Steve Claggart. You ain't trying to fight nobody that's not named Steve Claggart. Right? Just had a pretty good showing against Barboza, if you ask me. I'm going to be real. I don't like when people say, well, his showing against Barboza wasn't good. He boxed rings around Barboza. Why isn't that a good fight? I don't care if he didn't go in there and just totally engage. Barboza can punch, and his feet is in cement. Teofimo uses athleticism, just like Devin Haney did against Ramirez. Why wouldn't you? That's what you do. That's what you do. Right? So that's all right. But he ain't trying to fight nobody else. And wasn't trying to fight Barboza. Picked the argument with Turkey Alashe because Turkey Alashe just offered him something. Keyshawn Davis. No, I don't want to fight him. Don't take Keyshawn. Don't call me out. So he don't want to fight Keyshawn. He don't want to fight Hitchins. He don't want to fight Haney. He don't want to fight Jermaine Ortiz again. Sandor Martin again. Who the hell does he want to fight? Well, and then little old Javante who don't want to go up to 140. Right? So, you know, these are the guys that's running around, right? All the guys, Garcia ain't going to fight nobody else without dope in him. He going to retire. Garcia ain't fighting because he ain't, without dope, he's going to be marginal, right? Rolly Romero knows he's done what he's about to do. He gonna just talk some smack from the side and just hope that, you know, he can get some kind of fight that's easy and a lot of money to do it. He know he's not that talented, but Rolly Romero is, you know, gonna talk his way into something. But he ain't gonna try to fight one of these guys like a Hitchins or Devin Haney or anything like that that's will outbox the hell out of him. He's not gonna do that either. So I don't know who Rolly will fight, but Rolly is a character, so we're gonna watch it if he does. But my point about that is Devin Haney has all of this hate because he's great. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.